is Warriors Anonymous.
What a time to be alive, Warriors fans. Welcome along to the latest episode. This is Warriors content brought to you by a bunch of nobodies. Jared, Moneta, Daniel, all lining up for this one. So welcome along, and thank you very much for joining us on this, it's a joyous occasion whenever the Warriors are on top of the table. It hasn't happened many times in their history, so we got to celebrate it. We'll start off with a quick huddle now before we get into that, because I was actually thinking about this before news broke on it on Tuesday, and that is the fact that the NRL control the finals venues and that side of things. So it kind of goes away from your home team being able to necessarily decide to play on their home ground. So my question for you boys, Haruna, will the NRL force the Warriors to move an Auckland final or finals to the bigger Eden Park? Will they make that happen, do you think? We'll start with you, Daniel.
I don't know. I reckon they may force them to play a prelim if we are lucky to get to a prelim to Eden Park. I think they'll make a deal to say we'll give you the first one, but we've got to take it as well. Which I have notoriously been a bagger of Mount Smart, Go Media Stadium, but I think time of year, conditions, and the fact that we are such a dominant team, I wouldn't want us to lose that fortress feel as well. So, but unfortunately, NRL, money speaks, money talks, so it could be $1 each way.
It's funny how your stance against Mount Smart has definitely softened the past couple of episodes. It's been noticeable. And it is a funny one as well. You can see Cam George. I think Cam George is playing it pretty shrewdly. He's saying, we love Mount Smart. We want to play here. This is our home. I understand the competitive advantages, etc., etc. But there must be a little bit of them that's like, there's a bit of money, though, playing up the road. Moneta, Haronavro, will the NRL force the Warriors' hand for a final or finals?
I'm probably the same as Buddha. They're probably put the iron fist in terms of trying to put it to Eden Park, but I think we have to play the spiritual home with Mount Smart, but so that's hard in terms that they would try to push it. So personally me, nah. So
yeah. You'd be like, nah, play it at the dimly lit,
spiritual,
extra greasy.
Time of year might get out that grease factor.
True that.
Yeah. Unless they can put a roof quickly over Eden Park or whatever, then I change my mind.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So anywhere that gets the roof, you're like, let's go there. Now, bit of an eventful week. Obviously, we'll get to the Warriors, where they're currently at. But there was a bit that actually happened in the lead up to last weekend's action, starting with our resident Warriors salary cap auditor, Daniel Wharakura, who appeared on a New Zealand Herald article proudly, showing his Warriors support and passion for the team. Bro, how did that all play out?
Well, I think you set this up. You pushed out some commentary around the stats behind grand final tickets that have been purchased, and we all know I think maybe a third have sold, and a quarter of that have been from Warriors fans. So, just got our page tuning a little bit, and Ben Francis from the Herald reached out, wanted to have a cordial about the intentions. Why so early out? Kind of made the decision to go early and get a GF ticket as well. So, it was cool. There was obviously a few other people interviewed for it as well, but it was nice to be able to just sort of talk a bit about it. And I guess I came away, I sort of just mentioned that it just feels different this year. And when we're probably early into the season and the way we shaped up and the way we looked, 7-8 games into it, I was like, I think the opportunity comes up, we'll jump on it as well. So, it was great to showcase a photo of my stepdad, father-in-law, I should say, Pops, Ed Dando, he's a day oneer. He's a mega fan as well, so he was pretty stoked to be also up in lights on the Herald. So yeah, it was a nice little plug for the podcast as well. Bring it on.
And you didn't get caught out, getting misquoted, saying anything controversial, just, off the cuff. There was no quotes thrown in there. So I was like, well played, bro, well played.
Thank you.
Now, I understand that you also, being the Warriors salary cap auditor and now of New Zealand Herald fame, I note that you want to give a special congratulations to the NRL. What's the story there, bro?
So I went off early in the chat, said we needed to cover this as well, but and to be honest, I don't think it played out post the Melbourne Storm Penrith game, but you would have noticed a crackdown in that game, a crackdown on ruck infringements to the point where there were players put in the bin for repeated ruck infringements as well. So why I congratulated that is those two teams in particular throughout history, less so about the Storm because they're not in contention, but a team like Storm and Panthers dying out on slowing the ball down and intentionally create 6 against to reset their line as well. So, yeah, I've been sort of thinking that, you need to get those cynical, repeated efforts out of the game, and nothing shuts up a team or a coach's tactics than losing a man to the bin. So just, congratulate to the refs. I know some of the league pundits aren't too happy with it, but what it does is it just speeds up the game. With our Warriors head on, I think we're a team that doesn't rely on a heavy wrestle, where we have the ability to stop guys, put them on the back, all that kind of stuff. But also, we can manage a fairly fast ruck as well. And obviously, from an attacking point of view, we're just creaming it out the middle. So suits us, but we don't want this. We don't want the game kind of mired with like constant 6 agains and teams flouting rules to their advantage.
It's almost like the NRL have said to, especially the Melbourne Storm, after 20 years, it's time to make that change and heal, as a league, because you're right, it has been a blight on things. Now, also more good news as well. I'm just going to do a self-plug because yours truly is going to be lining up to commentate the Manly versus Warriors game, round 27 from Go Media Stadium. So I'm going to be on calling it on SEN League with the boys Scope and Fletch. So
the boys,
the boys. Yeah, so a couple of heavy hitters, and then me in between going calling some plays. So that is coming up Saturday week. Get the SEN app. That's how to basically get us. Because what it does is essentially you can, once you get the app, you can play the live audio, yes, but it allows you to sync up that audio with your TV. So you can actually watch what's going on and also listen to us guys having a good yarn, me doing the G-Man thing, expert insights from Scope and Fletch leading us on whatever random trips that he's going to lead us on, because it's going to be quite a time. He's actually under a bit of an injury cloud at the moment as well, because he's just recovering from kidney stones today. So it's a bit of a race to be fit in time. But I'll be posting up a bit of information about how you can get the game, and next it's going to be quite exciting to call it. I'll keep you up to date on how you can listen in and also be able to watch the Warriors game as well at the same time. So exciting stuff. Also, there's a lot of excitement going on. Moneta, the greatest coach of them all, Andrew Webster, re-signed last week until the end of 2032. My question to you, why did we sign him for such a short time?
You threw me off a bit. Should have signed him for 10 years. Yeah, should have. Oh, but isn't it great? We finally have isn't it great though? We finally got a coach that is, going to stay for the long haul. You know, we don't have to worry about every year. You know, we're going to get a different coach, this and that, and you know, the fruits of his labor in terms of the systems he's implemented, you know, is shown this year. I think, you know, he's built a fantastic system, not based on like star players or anything like that, but just a process that allows like people just to fit into the role in terms of just being able to do what they need to do, and then just like turns into these magnificent wins against these like high caliber teams. So it's just, I think Webster's one of a kind, and we can't do what we did with Ivan Cleary. You know, so we're learning the lessons, and also we're preventing PNG from nicking him, because that's what I was worried about too. PNG, we could
Very
just
good
throw the
call.
cash and go, Webster, come along. And so he's probably thinking long term, we're going to lock him in before any other club tries to chase him down. So yeah, I'm happy. So yeah.
That's a very good call on
Isn't
the
it funny
PNG
though?
front.
Just isn't it funny that he's second most capped coach of 106 games, behind Ivan Cleary 154, but it's only 154 games Cleary had. Like, just goes to show we just haven't had continuity of coaching, right? And yeah, that's, I mean, the fact that Webster's already kind of second on that list ahead of Daniel Anderson. Obviously, the Anderson period and the Cleary period were good periods, and it indicates if your period is going to get extended. But yeah, so many of our issues for so long were just inconsistent coaching.
Dead right. It's almost like he was, you know, when he was at the Panthers, he kind of was working alongside, you know, Colonel Sanders, and got to see what the recipe is, and decided, okay, I can use this. And he's just come over. He's added a couple of little extra ingredients as well, put his own spin on it, and here we are. So it would be interesting to see if he, you know, gets the nod for maybe a second Dally M Coach of the Year award, perhaps, the way things are going at the moment. Also, in terms of, there was quite a bit of news last week. Old Jet Cleary was given his clearance to head on back to the Panthers. Surprise, surprise! Whoever saw that coming? So yeah, it's been funny, the different sort of reactions to how that shook down. And honestly, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, sitting there with the old tinfoil hats on, it was like, this was always going to happen, everyone. So, you know, and we've also, you know, there was a bit of a media storm about a bit of a fractured relationship between the Panthers and the Warriors. Don't buy it. I don't buy it whatsoever. I think we're all good. I think Ivan's looking out for us. Webby's all good with the Panthers as well. So we move forward, and so does the young man. Could be double Clearys in 2027 for their last dance. But on to the match from Saturday night. Bit of almost like a rugby union kind of score, 45-26 over the Bunnies. And Daniel, it was pretty exciting for the sheer fact that we got down to nigh on the 80th minute, and we kicked the drop goal. How did you see that, bro?
Look, I mean, it was the quintessential cherry on the top, right? But caveat will be, wasn't under significant pressure. But hey, nice to be able to knock it forward. And yeah, I think we're all sitting there going, we were, you know, obviously cruising for a little bit. They came back, scored some more points, and we're like, just get one more because we need to get that points differential. We need to just get above the Panthers. So yeah, it was a sweet little sign off of the game, and but another way of just, hey, look, game management. You know, we're going to need the situation. Who's got it in the locker? So yeah, I loved it, but I just wish we didn't have to wait for a drop goal. I thought we would have been 20 or 30 clear, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, fair. It's funny, like I didn't even click at the time, but I was calling for them to take the drop goal just for the sheer practice of it, you know. And I do like the fact that Hansen wasn't actually the first option. So we'd gone to the option A, and that wasn't going to fly. So then passed it back to option B, being Hansen, and he just slotted it. And then it ended up being quite a valuable 1 point in the grand scheme of things. I guess none of us.
The best part was this.
Bo.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and then of course the Tigers came in and added their drop goal, and holy heck, we're still on top. But very, very exciting times as a fan. It did come at a cost. Moneta, give us your rundown, because you spotted someone who, you got your Enrique Iglesias on, and you said that you can be my hero, baby. Who was that out on the right wing on Saturday night?
Oh, come on. We all know it's DWZ, right? Yeah, and I'll be honest. I knew he scored that try and hurt himself, but I didn't know the context behind it. As he was, so like I didn't know he was actually he was trying to come off. He obviously was I can't remember which side was hanging, and then he runs back into the play, realizing there's going to be an opportunity to score, and then he still scores the try with one arm hanging to the side, like, I don't know, Forrest Gump or Bubba Gump, I don't know, and he still scores it. So, kudos to the man. A lot of heart. It just kind of represents the warrior spirit, that the team's got at the moment. No pun intended, but so it's fantastic, and just it's great. And all that shit I said about him last year. I'm eating I'm eating all of it now. His defense has gone up. His attack, his runs from the back. So I'm happy to say I'm eating my own words this year.
And you're not alone. And frankly, I'm happy to dine out in that humble pie as well. It's delicious. It's nutritious, and it it makes us healthier moving forward.
Yeah.
So let's enjoy that. It's about the only pie you can eat without getting diabetes. So, but bro, what about the performance of the bench? Holy heckers, they came on. And these young guys are looking good.
Yeah, they got a little nickname. Is it the Baby Wars or
Zesty Boys?
Zesty Boys. We've been talking to how important the development of these young, talented individuals, athletes, has been of the course of the last 2 to 3 years, right? I think Dimitri debuted in 23 before he went away. He injured himself. Did he do ACL?
He did, yeah.
Did ACL. He came back.
That was that game where he did the little nudge on the chin on Nathan.
Yes.
He got Sinbin for it.
He got Sinbin for the chin. But he came back and doubled in size.
Right.
And then obviously Leka debuted the season after that, and sort of first touch steamrolled the doggies and almost scored arguably try of the year that year as well. And then, so, we've obviously talked about how important that this core group is. We talked about the start of the season. For us to go far in this competition, these guys are going to have to, and there's no pressure on them having to step up. It's not about stepping up, but they will become very important to this team. And I think that game this weekend was the signal of the fact that we have the best bench in the competition, and it's these young guys. You think about, you've got Dimitrik, you've got Tanner, you've got Eddie, EIT, best game he's had, and the versatility of the man.
Eddie.
Versatility, wasn't he good? And then you've got Healy, the 1-2 punch, and then you've got starting Laban, you've got Leka out there, Hansen coming in. Like, it's so good. So yeah, loved everything about it, and it was just a culmination this weekend. Was those boys got us over the line.
And there's also,
I'll never forget
finals time, you got Ford coming back as well to somehow work into and amongst the mix. That's a good problem to have. Oh boy,
man! It just talks to our depth, eh? It talks to our depth, and I'll never forget when Eddie, that shot will stay in my head when he bumped the player off and he was just standing over. I can't remember who he bumped off, but that one, I was like, man, this guy is a machine. He's just gone to another level. Yeah.
All right. Now, one of the Warriors players he's been drawing a lot of criticism from a lot of people. I'm interested to get your boys' take on it. Adam Pompey came into the lineup last minute, got switched over to a different side of the field and played different positions. Moneta, discuss what is going on with the POM team, guys.
Oh, it's a bit of a, I'm not saying he's a bad player. he's actually good. You know, there's a reason why, you know, Webster picks him in the squad. So we have to give him credit, you know, in regards to that. But yeah, there was a bit of deficiencies in terms of the defense on the I can't remember right side, and there was a lot of tries. There was a point in time when the Rabbitohs were just going down that end and scoring. I think there was 3 tries within 15 minutes. I can't remember, but yeah, it was starting to concern me. But again, he hasn't played in a while on that side. He's been moving position. So I'm trying to be fair to the guy because he has played some really outstanding games. And last year he was Mr. Consistent and so forth. But yeah, he did get a bit exposed on the defense, but it doesn't take away that he's still a quality player. And, you know, I see a lot of Pompey haters get quite personal. Like, let's just stay away from that shit. He's still, you know, he's still a warrior. He plays for our team, and let's not like bat the shit down on him. Let's still support the fella, eh? So yes, he didn't have a great game, but you know he's in the squad, and we're fucking not. So those people criticize him. Can you fucking do better? No. So yeah.
Well, no, we can't. But you know, and you don't play 133 games. It was his birthday as well. Happy birthday, Adam. You got to play on your birthday. But you don't play 133 games in the NRL, let alone, you know, even just one of them, without being a good player. So there is that. I think for my take on it is that I've just view him, he's a backup. He's a backup player. And he's got a lot of opportunities over the years because of injuries, to be honest. But he's just shown up. He's been the guy who's been there. He's plugged the gap, and he's done a job at different times. But Daniel, looking at that right side of the fence, you had changes going on. You had Dallin going off, which added to the fun. So I think Eddie might have shifted out to centre. You also had Luke Hansen defending on the right hand side, which he has not defended on all year. So you got him and Pompey, both left side players, all of a sudden going up against the best, you know, left edge attack in the NRL, I'm going to say. But bro, yeah, what were you seeing in that right side D? Because, you know, is it a potential worry for the finals?
Look, you just summed it up, mate. You had players that play that side, new combinations. You've got the best attacking left side as well. So, you know, there was also, we didn't count the numbers. So there's Tuopiki, you know, he didn't get it right a few times, especially I think that first one. So there's a combination of things. So I guess the key thing really is we solved the equation midway through that second half. Webby said he put Licker there, and Licker's, I think his mobility, his speed, his ability to kind of stop it at source was the difference, right? So, and that's what this, you know, at this level, that's what league's about, right? Just solving problems, you know, changes and shifting momentum. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned. You'll learn from it, but yeah, just so many different changes and bits and pieces. Hey, all good.
It says a lot for the progression of Lecker as well, that he can just get bumped. You know, all of a sudden he's playing a spot wider anyway than he has been. Played a few games there now and looking, you know, great at it. And all of a sudden things turn to shit on the right. So they're like, well, bro, go jump over there. And he did. He went over there and really just helped shut a lot of things down, which was really pleasing to see. Also pleasing to see is the fact that a lot of our players now, Moneta, they're getting their flowers. And that is a guy that we interviewed a few years ago, Chanel Harris-Tavita. And also his former COVID housemate. I remember this, Wade Egan. I remember Chanel was the cleaner and Egan was the chef. So, you know, there's a lot of chat about these boys, you know, being up with the best in their position in the NRL right now.
Yeah, no, totally. And again, I think you do have to put give credit to Webster for unlocking that potential, because we've always known CHT was a good player, but he's just been brilliant this year. And the same with Egan. He's like a magician, right? Just some of his plays, especially that one short ball to Fisher Harris, that one he set up. That was magical. You know, just like this like kind of like deception, just ever so slight deception in terms of how he looked like he was going to pass out to the back wide, and it was just that little short ball into Fisher Harris and just bang. So like he's just he's not like Ian. No, not Ian, Sam Healy, where he darts off quickly from dummy half and so forth. But he's got that IQ, kind of like Cameron Smith. I kind of compare him to that. He's got that footy IQ. And so he doesn't have to be like super quick in that. So he reads the play. He's like a robot analyzing the bloody fucking field in front of him
Scanning.
and decides quickly on
Scanning.
that spot. He's like a chat GPT analyzing the field, going, scanning, do this play, run into dummy half, short ball.
Isolate.
He's a magician. He's a computer whiz. Yeah, isolate. I'll be back. So yeah,
it's so funny, like even like all the pundits, they rate him, but they just can't. It can't just give him the best sort of strategic dummy half in the game with the most deception. They put him in. They keep going Api, Coruscant, yeah, and great. And obviously Harry Grant's. They still they call the pinnacle, and obviously Harry's got an amazing running game, and he's done it at all levels as well. But pound for pound in the deception stakes as like a Cameron Smith, he is daylight above any other dummy half.
That's right. The prestige, the man of many nicknames. Speaking of footy IQ, speaking of footy IQ, I was massively impressed. Not only in the general play, not only in the goal kicking, but on the one play where Taine Tuopiki, he senses the ball going close to the touchline, which is ordinarily a kick like that's, edging towards the touchline is a real problem because you're not sure, whether to catch it or leave it. If you leave it, obviously there's problems. And if you catch it, you're going to get bundled in the touch. But old Taine goes, no, I'll have none of that. I'm going to put my foot out onto the touchline and make it an out on the full. So, Daniel, what did you make of that play? And should he be our kicker for the rest of the season?
Well, first of all, the play is super smart footy, and it probably just talks to Webby's confidence in a player to do what he sees, right? Because there was touch and go. There's every chance he comes short of the line, and then he goes over the line, mistimes it as well. But when you have confidence and the ability to express yourself with, there'll be repercussions, but I'd imagine there'll be some environments in the NRL that you're too scared to do shit like that. You don't want to put a foot wrong. Excuse the pun. So amazing. Heads up footy, smart footy. And then, the goal kicking. Just, look, amazing. I mean, a real consideration. And this could be part of the formula of how we set up in the coming weeks. But I guess there's other injuries that could also mean players play elsewhere as well. But can't hurt his chances kicking 8 from 8.
Absolutely. My goodness. We did some game picks that we locked in a number of weeks ago, almost a couple of months back now. And in this particular game versus the Knights, three of us had picked for the Warriors to win. Dan, you'd actually picked a Knights victory in this one. So I'm going to stick with mine as a win. Moneta, are you saying win for yours?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cool. Isaac can stay win because he's can't make it on. But Daniel, what's your vote, bro? You can backflip or you can hold if you like, whatever floats your boat, man.
I think at the time I was thinking kind of where we're at. I was a little bit down on the kind of how we played at home sometimes, as well. But I'm bloody going to the game, so I better get in behind the boys as well. So I mean, we set those a wee while back as well. A lot has changed. We've really, really excelled and progressed our game. So definitely a win for us. I think for me, in terms of how we win, I think the blueprint I want to see is what we've done in more recent weeks is where we've really established an early lead and dominance, and then allow, incorporating our young guys to come in and pretty much see the game out. I'm getting into that mindset of how do we keep our really key guys from, not having to see lots of action? It has a difficult balance, right? We're not in a position to rest guys like this. We're still chasing top 2 finish as well, but we want to make sure come finals week 1, we've got all our key players and our senior players ready to go. So, but what I've loved recently is the ability for Wade to come off, with like 25 to go. Perfect. Healy sees the game through.
Yep.
Aaron spelling after 20, coming back in the last 20. So they can go bigger minutes if needed, but it's nice to know that they can, get through the game and get on to next week. So I'd love to see that again.
Yeah, nice. The weather forecast is looking actually pretty good for Sunday. It's an afternoon game, the old 4 p.m. New Zealand time kickoff. So that's the when it sort of starts off kind of light, a little bit of lightness, and then gets darker. And we'll also be wearing those the new bush shirts, the was it TIL uniforms. So just thinking about the lighting at Mount Smart. I don't know if the Knights are going to be actually able to see us out there. So that will help our cause. But going to be in camo gear, boys. Anyways, thanks for jumping on. It's been it's a tricky one because 3 teams going for the top 2 spots, and it's a close run race. So it's hard really for any of them to rest anyone, really. So we'll have to see how that kind of unfolds. If we can win, then
this is going to be a defining round because big games.
Yes.
Big games, Panthers have dogs. Dogs are, this is it. Losing, they're absolutely gone.
Yep.
And then obviously the Chooks have the Dolphins who, So, and we've got the Knights, so actually it feels like finals footy is coming early.
It really does. Yeah, perfectly said. Perfectly said. Just before we jump out, the Waihanea lost 8-66 against the Roosters. Ouch. We won't worry about that. They'll bounce back. They'll get a home game this week against the Dragons on game day as well. So they'll be primed for a real good bounce back. But boys, thanks for jumping on. Until next week, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll be back with some more content by us boys, and see what happens. Until then, up the Waz. Go the Warriors!
La cucaracha ya no puede caminar.